the Rookie Reset. My name is Andrea Fitzgerald, and I'm going to be your host this evening. Now, you may be wondering, what the heck is a Rookie Reset? Well, friends, it would be evenings just like this, except your girl would be stressed the hell out because I could not manage my classroom. And quite frankly, I couldn't figure out this whole teaching thing. So, what we do here on the Rookie Reset is to help you as a new teacher, provide you practical tools, tips, and strategies to help you stay in the game. Because a lot of times, new teachers quit too soon because they're just not getting the support they need. So, I am the professional learning, I am the PD that you need. So join us every Tuesday, somewhere in the range between 5:15 and 5:45. But we here providing you with simple tools to help you stay in the teaching game. That is my goal, is to not for you not to quit by you getting the support you need. So today, friends, we are going to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart. Now, this is so interesting to me. I feel like somebody needs to do a study on this because I was talking to a teacher last week and yeah, my sixth period class off the chain. So she said, I don't know what it is. It's my class after lunch. I don't know. They just seem a little bit more energized. I don't know what it is. And you know what, y'all? When I was a teacher, my sixth period class, they was off the chain. I'm talking about consistently. It's like every year as a teacher, like every year, I don't know what it was in my sixth period class. We just did not see eye to eye. Like I would have to roast them before we get into the math and stuff like. But listen, I don't know what it is. Like I really feel like someone should do a study on this because the class after lunch, I don't know. They just be off the chain. But yes, so and see, and actually now that I'm thinking about it, it's so interesting because I feel like after lunch, like my energy goes down, but I don't know. It's something about that class. But yes, so I want to talk about this. What do I do when my class is off the chain? And now, honestly, you may say as a new teacher, you like, well, I feel like my class is off the chain every day, and that's cool. But listen, I'm telling you, as a teacher that was in the game for a while, that even way down the line, this happens throughout the year. Where because think about it, there's a range of emotions in people. Like we're up, we're down, we're this, it changes, right? So why wouldn't that change with children? But yes, so you have these moments throughout the year when your class, they may have forgotten how things operate in your class. It gets a little wild. It's just off the chain. And honestly, like I'm using this sixth period class because we had this experience probably every year as a teacher. Like I promise you, every single year, sixth period class, off the chain. Just I don't know what it is after lunch. I don't know. But yeah, but this is experience that happens quite often as a teacher. And you may be saying to yourself as a new teacher, you like, I don't even know how to get this thing back. Like I don't even know, the thing is wild in here. I'm screaming, I'm yelling, it's unstructured, it's unorganized. And I'm asking myself, what do I need to do to get this thing back together? Like what is it? How sway? Um and I want to let you know that this is possible. This is definitely possible. And so, what I think about is many years ago. Now, y'all might not know new teachers, but some of my old heads, we know way back when the very first Nintendo, and there was a button on there like you could be playing all the way to the end of the game, but if someone hit this button, then the whole game started over, and that was the reset button. Now, there are several types of resets, and one of the ones that I talked about a couple weeks ago, and on my speeches, I talk about how to reset after a break. That's a reset because that's when you are getting kids back, like reacquainted with how you operate. You're making adjustments. It's almost like a halftime readjustment. That's a reset. But this reset is the one that happens throughout the year when your classes they're getting a little wild. You're screaming, it feels unstructured to you, but you have a goal in mind at the end of the year, what you're trying to accomplish. And your students, this a little, it's a little chaotic in there. And so you're trying to figure out, how do I bring it back? So I want to share with you a couple of ways to do that. So and this one usually is a great one to use as a new teacher, or even as a teacher in general, is when just it feels like nothing else is working. Like you're doing all the things that you've been taught. You're doing all those things, but it's like, gosh, this thing is still off the chain. And that's how my 6 period class. Now, one of the strategies um that with that class, sometimes, and this one only works if you have a relationship, is high school. I feel like sometimes, you have to roast the people. You just being real. Like, sometimes you have to, like, but this only works if you have a relationship. So if you come in there, you trying to be big and bad, and you trying to roast somebody, and you don't have a relationship, like, this is not gonna work. Like, this is not gonna work. This is not cursing people out, but this is just you, like, reasserting yourself. That's all it is. That's all it is. So let's talk about it. All right, so let's talk about a couple of ways to get your class back on track, to reset. So one of the first things you can do. So let's talk about this 6 period class, because they was off the chain. They was. I'm telling y'all, I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like someone should really do a study on this, because I swear I talked to so many teachers, and they like the class after lunch. I don't know, the class after lunch. We go at it every day. I don't know. But so yes, this class, like this one year in particular, I think about this one class. I'm talking about these folks would come in, they rowdy. They just loud. They talking like, yeah, we have routines, but you ain't following them. So one of the ways to readdress that, like to get that thing quickly back to where it needs to be, is resetting on that entry routine. So, for instance, in high school, one of the joys for ninth graders is I get to roam freely throughout the building and go to my classes. In middle school, you line up on the lockers. So, what I would do, like for this 6 period class, because they literally, coming into the class was so chaotic, that I just shut the door and I stood outside the door, and they lined up on the lockers. Like, we took it back to 8th grade. Like, they went high school, but we took it back to 8th grade. So I readjusted the entry routine, because I realized the class is gonna be off the chain if the first 5 minutes are not tight. So think about how the students in your room. What are something like, what is the tone you want to set from the beginning, from the moment they come into class? So one of the things you could do right away, reset on that entry routine, because that sets the tone for the remainder of your day. So yeah, I line them jokers up on the locker, and they say, "Oh, Miss Fitzgerald, we in high school. Why we line up on the lockers?" And I say, "Well, until we know how to do it the right way, then we're gonna keep doing it like 8th graders, because we must have forgot." So yeah, but after a while, a couple of days of that, they're like, "Okay, wait a minute now." And some of the kids be like, "Listen, you need to be quiet. I don't want to be lined up on the locker like I'm in 8th grade. Everybody else going in their class, walking freely. We line up on the lockers." But yeah, so that's one of the ways, like things that you can adjust. So just think about, like, how the students enter your class, so that you can set that tone from the first 5 minutes of class. So that's the first thing that you can do. The second thing that you can do, if the class off the chain, and you almost want to look at it as, I like to think of it as a reset. It's almost like a refresh. Spring cleaning. We come in here, we're gonna reset. We still got the same house, we still live here, but we got to tidy some things up in here. So one of the things that I did, like with that class, I had to change seats. I had to reassign seats all the time, because listen, they get too comfortable, want to talk to somebody. Listen, off task behavior is off chain. Be like, okay, we're redesigning again. We have some new assigned seats. So that's one of the ways that you can reset your class, right? That's one of the ways to address some of that off task behavior. Got some new seats, y'all. That's the way we rolling. All right. And that's these are all quick fixes, new teachers. So that's what I love about these things you can do tomorrow. All right. Another way that I used to often do was a speech. Speech. Um, and this, I think, a lot of times with the speech is leading with vulnerability. So, for instance, I know my first year, that thing was, listen, y'all, that thing was off chain. Like, listen, Rickie's playbook was literally, it was designed from the chaos of my first year. But I was just honest. I was like, listen, guys, I was trying to figure it out. You were trying to figure me out, but some things are gonna be a little different up in here. And so I would just express to them, like, hey guys, we this gonna be a live. So this is what's gonna happen. So number one, like for instance, Like second semester, I'm like, I'm gonna raise the bar. I see how brilliant you are, so I'm gonna raise the bar of what I expect of you. From now on, yeah, we're gonna have assigned seats. Like I didn't have any assigned seats. From now on, we're gonna make sure that our calculators are up so that we can before we leave the classroom, so it's not calculators all over the place or I lose all of them. So just an opportunity, just kind of almost like starting over again first day of school, right? So, just like we talk about in the reset, like when you think about with that speech, you also want to think about like what's working and what's not. And what are like two adjustments, maybe even one adjustment that you can make that you want to communicate to them in this speech. Like the way that we have been operating in this class, this is no longer going to work. We're going to do things a little bit differently. And I want to communicate those to you so you can know. So from now on, this is how things are going to be. So for instance, I'll give you a prime example. So one class, they didn't do any work. Like I would assign things and I may or may get two or three papers back. And so what my coach told me to do, she said, what you're gonna do, you're gonna tell them, hey, we're gonna do things a little different. What I did, I said, I'm gonna from now on, I'm going to grade everything because what it was I was not holding him accountable. Like I had no expectation around that. So from now on, I'm gonna grade everything. Every time that you do an assignment, I'm gonna grade it and give it back to you. So if you complete two problems, I'm just gonna get it 2 out of 5. I'm gonna give that back to you. And it was annoying as heck. But you know what? They start doing their work. And that was because I reset that thing. And I also came with new expectations and I communicated those to them. But as I tell you all the time, and I tell the people in the reset, I tell them in the heart speech, the key to all of this is consistency. It will not work if you are not consistent with those expectations. So you can say, I'm going to do this, you got to do it, right? So just keep that in mind. That is the only way that any of this works is by staying consistent because kids really value structure. I tell myself all the time, it's like, oh my gosh, structure, don't cage me in, but I need structure. I really do. I really do. Okay. So let's just recap this thing. Yes, as we said before, there's always an opportunity to reset your class, regardless of how off the chain it is. It's not easy. It's simple stuff, but it's not easy. Let's just go ahead and call a thing a thing. Also, so here are 3 ways that you can do that. Number one, readjusting your entry routine because it sets the tone for your day. Also, off task behavior. To address off task behavior, do assigned seats. That's a quick fix. You can do that tomorrow. So think about like, are there places in your class where okay, these students talk a lot, okay, or they seem to be off task in the back, let me move them to the front. So just think about that. Think about those things. And then lastly, a speech. So this is an opportunity to communicate. As you think about those new things that you want to change in your class, you want to communicate those to those, but you also want to bring a certain assertive energy with that. So this is not going off on the kids. No, 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 no. The speech is really about you reasserting and reestablishing yourself, just like it's the very first day of school again. Hey guys, since we don't know how to come into class, we gonna line up on these lockers. That's how we rolling, right? So those things. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. Get out there this week and keep that rookie state of mind. Well, what's that, Fitz? Remember, the level up is in the losses. Problems are a privilege. And yes, you might be new to this, but I know you're true to this because you're in this moment right now. And I believe in each one of you. So get out there this week and do those rookie reset push-ups, y'all. Reset that thing, y'all. This is it. This is the rookie reset. You a resetter. You up in this thing. Reset that class. And as I always tell the people, as I and when in my speeches, I say, listen, one of us gonna be stressed out. It ain't gonna be you. It ain't gonna be you. I'll be stressed about results. I'll be stressed about getting, making sure that the scores are what they need to be into the year and you learning. But I ain't gonna be stressed about no behavior. I'm not from screaming every day. So listen, y'all reset that thing. You set the tone for your classroom. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. And if this video added some value, share, subscribe, like, all of that. And also for all my rookie teachers, I'm offering to you all the $5 PD. That's right. You heard it. $5 whole, y'all. I know several teachers have been reaching out to me and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm on the struggle bus. I don't know what to do. Listen, I'm about to quit this thing. Listen, I know y'all balling on a budget. I sure was. I wore the same pants every day. So $5, y'all. I literally just want to add value to some new teachers. That's it. I just want to add some value and hopefully keep y'all in the game so you don't have to quit. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. Get out there this week and do those rookie reset push-ups. And we out.